A decade ago, the doors opened and the people flooded in. Sands Macau was the first foreign-owned gaming property to open in the SAR, celebrating its 10th anniversary on the 18th of May. And back then, SJM Stanley Hall and his family were there to have a look at the work of their new competitor.
We both have the opportunity to learn from one another.
Today, gaming expert Ben Lee recalls what he thinks both sides have learned.
I remembered during the heady days in the first couple of weeks of Sands opening, the executives who were here in the property behind me were laughing that Stanley Hall's response to the opening of their grand property here was to give away free chicken rice. I think some of those executives have learned since that sometimes chicken rice do work if that's what the market wants. And on the other hand, I believe SJM has learned as well that you need to modernize your property. You need to have something a little bit sexy, and that's where the mass casino hall comes in.
And as other players entered the market, Sands and SJM still battle it out for the biggest share in gaming revenue. SJM reclaimed its long-running title in March after Sands spent February in the top spot.
SJM, despite having invested very little, if you think about it, they have still maintained in number one despite having built only one major property, which is Grand Lisboa. Sands, during that same period, have built Sands, Venetian, Plaza, and Sands Cotai Central, and they have still only managed, despite probably having the biggest footprint in Macau and the greatest amount of investor capital, they are not able to take the top spot. I think that's an interesting perspective.
However, Mr. Lee thinks there's a dark horse in the race.
But I think the dark horse is Galaxy. Galaxy comes from the same background as SJM. They have very good relationships with the stakeholders in Beijing, here on the ground in Macau, and more importantly, they seem to be focused on the target market, that is China. Now, I think the beauty with Galaxy is that I expect that their phase 2 will open for Chinese New Year as a surprise to the investors. But more importantly, in the long run, they have phases 2A, 3, 4, so they have a huge pipeline. So I believe they're the ones to pay attention to.
But right now it's Sands' time to shine as it celebrates its achievements, proving that the gamble has paid off to invest in a former Portuguese colony in Asia.